I respectfully disagree podcast. Quick episode, man. It has been a minute, several long weeks. Um, and just ain't been feeling it to be honest. Like I said it's been in a funk in terms of just creating content and things to talk about. Get tired of your usual conversations. LeBron at 40, who's the GOAT, Jordan, Kobe. Um, I did want to do an episode the other day when I think it was Famous Los or somebody. Yeah, Los made some comments about, why people are starting to quote unquote disrespect Kobe's name and things like that. And I I commented on his post and I'm still getting notifications to this day. And I was just like, I'm one of them people where, I've said it several times. Like, I respect Kobe, I respect his game, but I honestly feel like with his passing, a lot of people immediately elevated him higher on the all time great list or whatnot. Several people feel like he's all the way up at number two. And I was like, prior to him passing, some people didn't even have him top 10. So that in its own self created a bunch of controversy. And like I said, I'm still getting flamed for it, but that's my take. It is what it is. But outside of that, man, ain't nothing really been going on worth pushing the button. I don't guess. Of course, everybody's up in arms about Donald Trump and Snoop and Nelly and all that, and it's like I don't even feel like wasting my breath anymore because I'm to the point now to where people are gonna pick a side and they're gonna criticize and tear down the people who are on the other side. So it's a lose lose, and I've kind of refrained from even giving my two thoughts on that. But I'm here to vent today because just got home from my son's game, bright and fucking early. Excuse my language. Had to get up at 7 o'clock, 7:30. He had to be at the gym by 8:30, and I don't know, man. Like I said, I guess I have that old school mind frame when it comes to sports and how you view it and what the overall meaning of sports is supposed to be. And I get it. Times have changed, things have changed, expectations have changed. You insert the fact that now kids are getting paid at an early age. It has changed a lot. So I get the perspective on sports is completely different. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. But this morning, man, I just like, I don't know, man. So today's topic is youth sports, in my opinion, is completely dead. If you disagree, feel free to drop an IRD in the comments once you listen to this or watch it. Let me know your thoughts on it. But from my perspective, and shit, I I'm only 40, so I don't consider myself to be old or old head or whatnot. But it's like, to me, in my opinion, elementary school basketball is supposed to be about learning the basics, learning simple fundamentals, and learning to fall in love with the game. It is supposed to be fun. That's the key. It is supposed to be fun. And week after week after week, I get tired of looking at these kids, whether it's on my kids' teams or other kids' teams. These kids is walking out of these gyms crying, sad, depressed. Parents is chewing their ass out. I lit Peyton up today. So I'm holding myself accountable too because I have never been one to elevate my kids higher than what they really are. And I think sometimes my wife looks at me like an a-hole because I evaluate my kids at full face value. If they play like trash, I'm going to tell them they played like trash. If they out there being soft, I'm going to tell them. I'm not that parent that's going to lie to their kid just because you want your kid to feel good and this and that. No, you got to earn it. You earn playing time. You earn respect. And if you're not willing to put in the work, then guess what? You get to go sit your ass down on the bench. That's been my message to my son Since day one, I've bought him ankle weights. I try to make him do push ups. I try to make him do sit ups, but I'm not going to make it to where I'm a drill sergeant and it's a boot camp. So I'm giving him the choice. You either get up and do what I've asked you to do, or when you get in the game and you don't get playing time, it's going to be the consequences of you refusing to do what I asked you to do. It's that simple. But it's just like, dude, the shit that I continue to see week in and week out is sickening. And the fact that we got to get up, drive these kids all over the city, pay our hard-earned money to get in these games, and in my opinion, they're not being taught anything. So that's where I'm starting at. I'm starting at the top. Yes, as a parent, it is our responsibility to help our kids outside of practice. I get it. You can't just send your kid to, first of all, salute to anybody that's coaching, because I know a lot of this is on a volunteer basis. I coached for 5 years, so I understand it. But I will say that in those 5 years of me coaching, I tried to evaluate each and every last one of them kids from top to bottom and tell them their strengths and weaknesses. I didn't put the best 5 kids out there and forget about the last 6 or 7 kids. And I see a lot of that across this entire city. You keep your strongest kids on the court at all times, and there's no development for the rest of the kids. And like I said in the beginning, this is elementary. Everybody's supposed to be here to learn. Some kids have resources that other kids don't have access to. Personal trainers, parents got access to gyms and everything else. Not every kid has that. So for those kids that do have it, I'm not going to spend all of my time with those kids because they already have the advantage. Why not develop the kids that don't have access to it? So therefore, when they all get on the court, they're somewhat on a level playing field. Of course, you're going to put the ball in the kids' hands that have the most experience. But then if they get in foul trouble or something happens, then you don't have a tremendous drop-off from a talent standpoint from the rest of your bench. So it's like, where is the development? And I don't see it. And that's what pisses me off the most, because here in Louisville, bro, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not sugarcoating shit. Here in Louisville, it's too many coaches that's worried about fucking wins and losses so they can go and brag at the fucking barbershop. Like, the shit is sickening. And the fact that a fight broke out today amongst these kids and one of them coaches pushed a kid today, bro. A coach pushed a kid. This is the second time this year that I done witnessed a fight at an elementary school game. And both of them involved my son out there on the court. And I'm just like, what the hell are we doing? So we sitting here today at this game. And first of all, I'm going to get off the coaches for a minute. I'm going to these parents. Because we're sitting here, and I guess that's where we made our mistake at. We was one of the first sets of parents to get there. So when we went and sat down, we was sitting in the other school's section. And we sitting there, the game started, and every time a particular kid scored, his mama standing up, yeah, baby, take it to him. Don't let them know, don't show them that you ain't no punk and we ain't never scared. I'm just like, man, it's 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, bro. Like, what? Like, what? So she's in the crowd hyping her kid up, which led to a parent on my son's team going back and forth with her. So every time her kid scored, she got something to say. So now the two parents is in the crowd trying to one-up each other every time they kid done something. Or when they kid get fouled, don't you push my baby. You better get up and push him back.
I disagree.
There go my first, I respectfully disagree. Why in the hell are we encouraging a kid to get up and push somebody back? It's sports. It's sports. Youth sports at that. There's going to be contact. There's going to be a lot of running and out of control, can't stop, flop, foul, push. It's expected. So the fact that the parents is in the crowd angry every time little Johnny gets knocked to the floor, that's the first issue. Why can't we just sit back and shut the fuck up and watch the game? Even I have a hard time sometimes. As much as I sit there and see my kids and they make mistakes after mistakes or won't shoot the ball, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting on my hands because I want to say something so bad. But in turn, I remember what that felt like. My dad used to stand on the baseline every game. Every time I caught the ball, tell me to shoot it. Every time I passed the ball, what the hell you doing passing the ball? This is in the middle of the game. So I have the choice to make. Do I listen to my dad or do I listen to the coach? So I know exactly what that feels like. As a coach, I know what it feels like to hear parents telling their kids to basically disregard what the hell we're telling them to do, and they better listen to you. So I get it. So again, that's the problem. As a parent, you are supposed to trust your son or your daughter in the hands of whoever has volunteered to coach him or her. That's their job. If you don't want your kid to be coached, keep his or her little ass at home. Don't come into where we're in our element. We done practice all week. You ain't been in none of the practices. You ain't helped volunteer in practice. But you're going to come to the game and then disregard everything that we've been working on to tell your kid to shoot the ball every fucking time he touch it. Go out here and push the kids every time somebody get physical with your kid. Like, where is this coming from, dude? Like, it bothers me. And that's the only reason why I'm on this mic. And I apologize if anybody's offended. I haven't started reading the comments yet on Facebook. Shout out to those that are watching. I'm just here to vent because I'm just like, there's no way in hell that a fight should have broken out at an elementary school game. There's no reason for it. Now, granted, I'm going to hold the little child from Brandeis accountable. It was a hard foul, sent the little kid into the bleachers or whatever. The kid from Lincoln kind of taunted, kind of flexed and stood up on him. So the kid from Brandeis is the one who threw the first push, whatever you want to call it. So the referee gets in front of the kids. The kid from Brandeis swung, connected. So now it all escalated. And then before you know it, out of nowhere, here come the coach running across the court and done shoved the kid from Brandeis to the ground. What the hell are we doing? At the time, I'm so peed off because Peyton them getting their ass busted. I tell my wife, I'm like, look, get your stuff. I was like, we finna go. She's like, go where? I think it was like the third quarter. I'm like, man, I'm finna go get my child off his bench and we going home. And Lincoln #1 pushed Brandeis kid first. That's why Brandeis swung. That's what I'm like. From where I was sitting at, I saw the hard foul. The kid got shoved out of bounds. I did see the Lincoln kid kind of flex in front of him, try to little boy him, and then before you knew it, boom. So then here come all the parents out of, you ain't finna put your hands on my baby and this, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, there's 2 referees on the court. There's coaches on the court. If a situation breaks out like that, it's their job to de-escalate the situation, sort out who gets the text, and do all that right there. When you start getting parents running out on the court, now you get complete chaos. Luckily, it didn't go down like it did earlier in the year where the parents started fighting the referees and everything like that. I'm like, bro, this is twice that I done witnessed this season with elementary school basketball. A time where it's supposed to be about learning, having fun, falling in love with the game. These kids are being viewed and treated as if this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals, bro. Half of them can't even dribble without falling and tripping over their own damn feet. But every parent in the crowd expects their kid to drop 50. It's so fucking delusional. It drives me crazy. And that's why I'm saying you have never heard me put my kids on any kind of pedestal or as much. I know for a fact what my kids can do. But I'm not finna get online and, oh, my kid can do this, oh, my kid can do that, because at the end of the day, if they don't have the confidence to go out there and show it, then I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my breath. I'm just hoping and praying for that day that my kids get the confidence to shoot the same shots that they shoot. We in an empty damn gym. But until then, guess what? The coaches don't know what you can do. The crowd don't know what you can do. So you just look like another person out there. So I'm frustrated from so many different phases of sitting here witnessing this. It's like I'm mad at my child because he ain't aggressive enough. I'm mad because they getting their ass blown out. I'm mad from a coaching standpoint. There's no disrespect. Again, we all friends on here, whatever. But I'm just like, okay, they're getting blasted. Change the lineups. Do something. And I get it. It's frustrating because a lot of those kids, they're timid. They're shy. They're nervous. So it ain't too much you can do about that. But then it's like, okay, now the parents is in the crowd talking crazy, talking greasy. So I'm just sitting here pissed. So I'm like, dude, I'm finna get my child. I don't give a damn if it's the third quarter or not. Get your shit on. Let's go. My wife is sitting there. She's kind of mad at me because I'm overreacting. And at the time I was. So I got up. I walked all the way over to where Peyton was. And I just kind of whispered in his ear. I'm like, look, if you get out there, don't get into no shit. That's exactly what I told him. And I happily walked back. And even after that, the tension was still high in my opinion. The kids is hard fouling, and Peyton them is losing by damn near 20. But the other coach left his starters in the game the whole time, and I'm like, where is the player development? You already won the game. It's the fourth quarter. There's no way in hell that Brandeis going to come back. But you got kids sitting on the bench that never even got in the game. So that's where I'm just like, what are we doing? These are third, fourth, fifth graders. Like, there's no reason why every kid shouldn't get to play. Now, if it's a close ball game, that's different. You're trying to win. I get it. But it's been too many times that I done witnessed blowouts and people leave their strongest kids in the game. And I'm just like, bro, this shit is ridiculous. And then you run the risk of shattering these kids' confidence to the point to where now they don't even want to play next year. They had such a traumatic, depressing experience to where now they don't even want to play next year. Those are the conversations that I'm having in my own household. Aubrey literally is being begged. Her coaches are begging her to shoot the ball. And I'm just sitting here like, she don't even want to play. She has the ability to be a leader on that team, and she don't even want to play. They've been getting busted too. So now when you add the losing element to it, there's so much pressure on these kids to where now if they lose, they don't even want to go out there no more. And I don't ever recall it being that way. I really don't. And that's why I'm just like, nah, where are we going with this? We go back up here in these comments real quick, man. Oh, said I appreciate everybody on this Saturday morning. That's the way it used to be, the way I was raised. You're going to earn it. These parents, coaches have ruined youth sport. Bro, I swear, the only time you got on the court is when you showed in practice that you deserve time to be on the court. And it's too many parents now. Why did my kid get in? Why did my kid do this? And I'm like, you need to ask your child that. Because if your child come to practice and he or she ain't putting in the time to learn how to dribble, going through the layup line, you ain't taking the advice from the coaches on how to make your layups and things like that, your kid is not going to play. I even tell my kids that, and I freaking coached. I'm like, dude, you're not going to see the court if you're not going to hustle. If you're not going to run as fast as you can up and down this court, go after a rebound, show that you can play some defense, the coach can't use you. You bring no value to the game unless it's a blowout. I tell my own kids that. So what makes these parents think that little Johnny is supposed to get in the game? And clearly, when you put him in the game, bro, it shows he ain't got no business being out here. But everybody thinks their child is a star, and it's like sometimes, bro, we got to be realistic. Challenge these kids to work harder to get to that level. But as of right now, you're not there. Quit making your kids think that they're better than what they really are. And I was like, maybe that's where I'm in the wrong. Maybe it's got the reverse effect. I'm tearing my kids down by being real with them. And I need somebody to correct me then. What's the better approach if you're not going to be real and honest with them? Parents are the problem and shitty coaches. Shout out to Hulk, man. I miss teaching and bonding with the kids, but not the parent politics. Bruh, honestly, man, I enjoyed coaching so much to where I honestly felt like I was building bonds with these kids. And a lot of them I still talk to on TikTok, and we laugh and joke. Some of them we play the PS5 online together, and I really enjoyed it from that aspect. And like I said, every last one of them kids on the team, I tried to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses were and develop them, each and every last one of them. At some point during practice, hey, you need to work on your left hand. Hey, when you shooting, you need to jump. Hey, when you're doing this, you need to what? Every last one of these kids from top to bottom. It was no favoritism. But it's like you hardly see that. And I think I saw Delanda in the comments. Yep. Shout out to Delanda because my son had a game last night and we got there and I'm sitting there watching, not really paying attention. And then this kid like hit a three. Nope, take it lie back. He got fouled, hit an and one. And I'm looking, I was like, man, that kid is nice. And I kept looking, I was like, man, that kid look familiar. And then I looked up and saw that she was coaching. And in between timeouts, she was showing kids where they needed to be at on defense, showing them different things that they needed to work on. And again, in my opinion, I'm not bigging her up just because we know each other on a personal level, but I'm like, she used to hoop. I know for a fact she's competitive. I know for a fact that she loves the game and understands the game, and she's trying to instill it in these kids. That's the first time I saw her coaching last night ever in my life, and you saw it. So after the game, I messaged her, and I was like, congratulations on the win. Your son is amazing. You can tell that he enjoys the game. He hit like 2 or 3 3-pointers, actually brought them back, and they come back and won the game. And she done it without having to yell. Now, I'm going to hold myself accountable because I do be out there yelling or whatever. But that's just me. That's my competitive nature. But you saw in between the timeouts, she's helping each kid, telling them where they're making their mistakes at. And that's rare. That's rare. I've consumed a lot of elementary school, middle school basketball, and you do not see the game being taught. And that's why I said maybe it's where I'm too old in a sense, and people don't view the game the way I view the game. Or it may be the benefit of us growing up in a small town because we had to learn the basics. We had to learn the fundamentals of the game. We couldn't just roll the ball out and then just go win off of athleticism. Who's the best 5 athletes in the gym? We had to run plays. We had to figure out how to outthink each other. Like, that to me is what's missing. Nobody is teaching the game anymore. You just think you're going to go out here, take 5 kids, put them on the court, and roll the dice. No strategy, no nothing. And I'm like, we're setting these kids up to fail because when they get to the middle school level and you insert the ability to run full court presses the whole game, it's a whole different level. So if they're not used to it, they're not prepared. If they come in and they're not prepared, they're not going to make the team. So you already selling these kids short. There's a disservice all the way from the elementary level because you're not teaching them the expectations. Anybody that came and helped with our practices can vouch for this. I try to tell every last one of these kids, if you don't work on this, you're not going to make it at the next level. If you don't get faster, you're not going to make it at the next level. I just told my son last week, if you do not work on your speed and agility, you're not going to make the team. I said, this may be the last time you put on a uniform if you do not listen to what I'm saying. I don't know everything, but I've already been in your shoes. I've been through this process. I know what it takes. But it's like, dude, I'm sick of it, man. Parents, support is huge. Unsuccessful parents and coaches want their kids to be something they're not. Man, that's what it boils down to, bro. That's what it boils down to. I'm like, quit living through these kids, man. Either they're going to fall in love with it or they're not. And if they're not, figure out what it is that they like. That's the stage that I'm at currently. I'm trying to figure out what is it that my kids actually like. Because I haven't forced them to play basketball. I'm praying and hoping that they fall in love with it because I will be delighted to get up every day and go get shots up and do whatever it takes for these kids so that they can get better. But until that light bulb goes off, I haven't forced them to do nothing. It's crazy. They shouldn't be able to play anymore. It should be a wrap. We have to start showing these kids there are consequences. Shout out to DeLanda. Amen to that. Coaches are supposed to be leaders no matter who was right or who was wrong. Bruh, it's awful, man. It's awful. And that's why I said it. After this, I'm done. I just wanted to rant and vent for about a good 20, 30 minutes. College basketball is going to be on for the rest of the day. It's too many coaches that all they care about is wins and losses so that they can go and brag as if you really get something for it. Like, that's the shit that I don't understand. And I was like, maybe it's because we cut from a different cloth. It's like, bro, this is youth sports. I'm pretty sure by the end, you win the championship, the kids is happy, excited. By the end of the night, they playing fucking Fortnite and don't nobody care. So it's like, bro, you see it too much, man. You see it too much. The game is not being taught. These kids are not learning nothing. And you sitting over there just ruining their confidence, ruining self-esteem, all of that. Just sitting there, bro. Man, boy. Like I said, I'm going to hold my kids accountable because at the end of the day, playing time is earned. I know what you can do. I know the talent that you have. You just got to show everybody else. That's the message that I had to my son today. I lit his ass up. I ain't going to lie. I ain't even going to lie to you. Because I'm like, the things that I've seen you do, I've yet to see you do on the court when it matters. I tell my daughter the same exact thing. I said, there's no way that a kid that's shorter than you should get on you and get you to the point where you don't even want to dribble the ball. Teams have now started full court face guarding her because they know that on the 6th and 7th grade team, she's the number one option. But the sad part about it all is if you ain't going to be aggressive enough and say, hey, I don't give a damn who's guarding me, I'm still trying to score 10, 15 points, then it's all for nothing. You're going to let the defense determine that now they're going to take you out the game. And guess what? And like I keep telling her, no disrespect to the other players on her team, who you going to pass it to? If they looking for you to score the points, who you going to pass it to? Can't be scared out there. Can't be scared to fail. And I think that's the issue. Like, we're putting so much pressure on these kids to where they are afraid to fail. And I think maybe that's something that I got to do a better job at, figuring out how to communicate with them to where they don't feel like every time they make a mistake, something's going to happen. And I've never told them that. So I don't even know where that comes from. But like I said, man, I just wanted to rant. I just wanted to vent because it was so sad to see this morning an elementary school game, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the tension from the crowd, from the players, the body language sitting on the bench, like, it's awful. And the fact that you asking parents to get up early in the morning, pay their hard-earned money to go watch that, like, hell no. Ugh. But anywho, I'm out, man. Y'all enjoy this weekend. Shout out to my Eagles. Best believe if we make the Super Bowl, I'll be going live again. Shout out to Sneed if he's still on the live, man. Y'all gonna be in a dogfight tomorrow. Better bring your A game. Yeah, look, Philly need to bring theirs too. Because Washington is on fire, man. I hate that Jalen Hurts banged his knee up last week, so that may be a huge factor. Washington is putting up points, man. So if we ain't ready to get busy with them, then we going home tomorrow too. But appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I Respectfully Disagree podcast can be found on streaming services and YouTube. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, and we are out.
Ass toasted, no competition. Amisha coasting. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's intertwined. Amisha coasting. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Amisha coasting. Giddy, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.